Hello and welcome to Ben's Addiction. You might remember my CLK 500 W209, which was flooded from the sunroof. Today we are going to solve two of its issues together, and hopefully we will learn something new at the end of this video. It's going to be a short one, but a good one. So stay tuned and give me a thumb up and follow the channel if you haven't done so. Thank you. Okay, here is the first problem. When I turn the key to the on position, second position, I don't get the odometer reading. Doesn't show up at all. So you remember that my original cluster was water damaged, the lights were not working, and the temperature gauge was not working. So we needed to replace that. So this is the replacement cluster, and I also programmed it based on the original car's information, but we also need another programming that I cannot do. Here is the original cluster, which I have partially dismantled, and it contains a chipset that has all the information regarding the kilometers and everything. The EIS module also stores information regarding the odometer. And if it sees the discrepancy between the cluster and EIS, it doesn't show the odometer here. So what we are going to do, because we do not have access to online coding that Mercedes dealers have, so there are basically two ways of doing this. Online coding done by Mercedes dealership that I don't have access to, and I don't want to take this car to the dealership. And the second way is removing that specific chipset on the cluster of the original car and putting it into the new cluster. Splitting open the cluster is very, very easy. It's just like few clips around and carefully take it off. After that, there are two clips on each side that holds the board and the main mechanism in place. We unclip these two clips and remove the main mechanism out of the plastic cover. I'm going to remove the EEPROM, which is on the other side of this board over here. So to do that, we need to remove these two connectors on the sides, just like that. And then there are four clips around it. Just remove that too. And then all we need to do is look at this side. And as you can see over here, there is the 8-leg chipset over here, which is actually 24U17. I show you the clear photo right now. I'm trying to zoom in to make it more clear for you to see as well. And this is 24U17. This is the EEPROM that we are going to remove, and you see how tiny it is. I'm going to use my heat gun with lots of flux to distribute evenly the heat and remove the EEPROM. And we also need to note the direction. That small dot needs to be on this side again. So let's do this. Let's heat it up to 360 degrees, remove it, and put it on the receiver cluster. Do the same thing, remove the EEPROM and replace it with the original EEPROM. Okay, after cleaning, it's time to put back everything. And now it's a very good time to clean the cluster. And it's now nice and clean and shinier. Let's go ahead and try to see how the original EEPROM on the new cluster is going to work. And here's the result. That's exactly the odometer I wanted, 230,000 kilometers and 68. That's the original PROM reading on the new cluster. Why? Because if I turn on the ignition, just like that, you see that my temperature gauge is working properly and everything is also working. So this is perfect. It worked really, really well, and I'm happy about this repair. Now The only thing remains, just cleaning up all the old cluster related fault codes, and there we go. We are already done. The second problem is the ABS and brake wear, as well as the BAS malfunction that we are going to fix in the next few minutes. So ESP, BAS and ABS. Okay, let's go to the ESP, and then there is one single fault code that is saying right front speed sensor. Therefore, we need one of these. But I'm going to replace in pair because probably the left hand side will be gone very soon. So if I turn the left hand side hub, you can see that it shows values of the speed sensors and RPM sensors. If I do the same thing on the right hand side hub, you'll see that there is no change. So definitely either the harness is faulty or the ABS sensor. Now to remove the connector of the ABS sensor, all we need to do is push down on this metal spring over here to release the connector and then remove the connector. So easy. And then all we need over here is a 10mm to remove the speed sensor. Left and right are exactly the same, so you don't have to be worried. Also regarding the brake wear sensor, all we need to do is make sure that brake pads are in good shape and not worn, which on this side it's not worn and we don't have any brake wear sensor on this side. But let's go ahead and check the other side too. And here is the right hand side, which we actually have the brake wear sensor. And as you can see, we still have a lot of meat on our brake pads. The difference between left hand side and right hand side connector for the ABS sensor or a speed sensor is that this is a twin type, and you can remove the speed sensor by undoing the small clips that you can see over here easily, and just the process is the same. So I have replaced, as you can see, the speed sensor on the right hand side, which was the faulty side as well. After replacing the RPM sensor or speed sensor, if I turn the hub, you can see that value for the right hand front speed sensor changes. Also, what was wrong with the wear indicator on the brake? It turned out to be a corroded pin inside this connector over here. So I pulled out this sensor connector and sprayed it with a contact cleaner and cleaned the contact and put it back and forth a few times, and the problem is gone. Now let's go ahead and put back everything and take the car for a spin and to see what is happening with all that problems with ABS, ESP and BAS, and also the brake wear indicator. But before doing that, we make sure to going to clear this code before doing anything else. And now if we scan again, there should be no fault code, even the pending one. And as you can see, there is no fault code anymore. Okay, let's see if it's fixed or not. So far so good, no ABS light. The only fault code left is for now SRS. And then we have third brake roll light as well. But that's all. Let's go for a quick one. So now it seems like we have ABS. Oh, look at that. It just put down 305 horses. Beautiful, beautiful ride. So guys, thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing. Have a great day. Enjoy your Mercedes. Bye.